Hello, good evening. Hope all of you are fine. Actually, today I was asked to speak something on education because tomorrow India is going to celebrate Teachers' Day. So I thought, let me talk to you about education, the purpose of education in nutshell. To talk on education, it has become one of the most important issue of a nation building. Everywhere this topic is being discussed, and it is becoming very important goal of a nation, a government, and very seriously government takes it in its account. So talking about education, we must first understand what is the purpose of education and what is education in fact. One of the greatest thinkers and seers of the age, Sri Sri Anupul Chandra, once said about education is, the purpose of education is to manipulate the instinct and the habit for becoming of life with gradual manipulation of the behavior. This is the purpose of education. This is actual education in fact. So what does it mean? Nourishment of the habit and instincts with proper manipulation of behavior. So we see there are two aspects coming out of this definition, and scientists also do agree these two aspects of human life. Human has the two aspects of life, that is psychological and biological. It has mind, it can think, it has intellectualism, as well as it has an biological trait. It has, we are having our hereditary quality. We are imbibing and passing the hereditary qualities through our generations. So if these two aspects are the two pillars of human life, human existence, then to talk on education or anything, we must think on it very seriously. So while we are talking about education, we must take these two aspects of human existence in our account with a very serious manner. The psychological aspect and biological aspect. What is the psychological aspect? How it could be nurtured? Let me tell you a small story, realized story. One day one of the devotees of master came to his master and asked that what actually love is. You often say, you also often talk about the love is the supreme knowledge and so on, but I don't understand how love is the supreme knowledge, how knowledge can be imbibed or imparted through love. I don't understand. Then the master gave him an assignment. He said that I came to know that few puppies have been born near to your home. Is it true? Yes, sir. One dog has given birth of few puppies at near to my home. Well, you take care of the puppies, but one of those puppies you keep with you always and train it. He did his work. He started to follow the master's instruction. After 5 or 6 months, the master again asked him, what about your training? What about those puppies? Well, yes, as you told me, I am following your instruction, I am following your guidance, and I've taken one of the puppies with me, and I'm giving training to it. It stays at my home, and always, what do you find? Well, it's going very funny, very interesting, and the training program is going very nicely. Again, after 8 months, 9 months, after almost 1 year, again master asked him, what is your progress? Well, it is very nice. Now the puppy has grown up and it is just following my instruction. It can understand what I want to say. Just it looks at my eyes and it understands what I actually want. What about its brothers and sisters? They are well. They stay near to my home. And do they follow you like this? No. What difference do you find? They are just street dogs. But the puppy which has grown up and which stays with me, it works and it follows my instruction, and it has become very intelligent now. It understands what is my requirement, what I think, what I expect from it, what I think. Now see the difference. Why it happened? Now the follower asked the master, please sir, you tell me. The difference occurred because the puppy was grown up with you under your guidance, and a relationship made between you and the puppy, and its brothers and sisters were just remain as a street dog. They had no master, but this puppy has got his master, and because of the relationship between the master and this student, and the loving affection between the master and the student, the learner, the puppy has become intelligent. This I wanted to say. Now I think you have got your answer. Yes sir, I understood. So this is the actual cause of knowledge. To understand the things happening around me, to understand the causal factors of my existence, the thing which are happening around me in favor or against, to understand the events in favor of me or against me at the extreme level. The knowledge is must, and that knowledge comes through love. This loving affection gets attached to the supreme becoming, supreme purpose of life, higher purpose of life. Then our knowledge expands. This knowledge can accumulate all the factors which are responsible for my existence. That actually welcomes science of existence. That enables a person to understand or discover the scientific facts, the causes of becoming, causes of evolution, causes of existence, causes of existence of civilization. So here the purpose of education, the process of education starts. That's why we say love is the supreme knowledge. Love towards, so that if we able to imbibe, or if you are able to impart the loving affection of a person, of a student, of a learner towards the supreme purpose of life, then automatically he starts to understand and realize the things. Actually, knowledge comes through realization, and the books, materials, all the equipments are just helpful and supporting factor of the realization of knowledge. This is actually psychological factor of human existence. As the scientists say, first part is the psychological part. That psychological part gradually gets developed when a person finds a better purpose of life, higher purpose of life. And the purpose, it does not exist on the space, in the vacuum. It, unless this knowledge, the embodiment form does not come in our life. I mean, the embodiment form of the knowledge, the person which has having the supreme knowledge, if I don't find such person a good total personality, the knowledge actually does not start to unveil within myself. This is the first part of the human man, to understand the knowledge, or to realize the knowledge, to unveil the knowledge and the development. So first teacher is in our life is our mother and father, because child gets attached first with his parents. So that role of parent is very, very important for the first phase of the education, the development. The scientists say that within 5 to 6 years the child learns everything, because this is the period of the development of mind, this period of the opening of the brain cells, which gets shaped in this period of time. And this period of time the child mostly spend with their parents. So behavior of the parents, relationship of the parents, their lifestyle, their character, their purpose, how much they are loving to their superiors, their parents, what is the purpose of their life, what ideology they are following in their life, what kind of lifestyle they are following. All these things make a big role of learning of a child. So this is the first phase of education, which nurtures the first aspect of the human life, that is the psychological aspect. I will come, if I get time, I will come on the next phase of institutional education. Same thing happens in institutional education also, because in the institutional education, when students come in touch of the teachers, they want to see the ideal personality in the teacher. They want to see the reflection of ideal, reflection of ideology, reflection of right personality in the teachers. When they find it in them, then they start to love the teachers, because students have normal tendency to love their teachers. When they find such personality in the teacher, then automatically they start to gather, imbibe the qualities of the teacher, and they remember them for long period of their time. Still we remember few of our teachers who have made a great impression in our mind. So this way our psychological aspect get nurtured. Now the biological aspect or the hereditary aspect, this is a very, very important part of education, because education gives us what we have what we have received through our birth, that can be nurtured through education. But how we will get that good quality, from where it is coming? It is not coming by chance. It is not coming. It is not a factor of fate. It comes through a natural process. It comes through parents. It comes through a natural law of evolution. From where does it come actually? Which factors are the responsible for better human instinct? It comes through proper selection of parents, proper selection of male and female, proper marriage. This is called marriage reformation. Today we will not talk details about marriage reformation, but selective marriage, selective breeding is required for actual growth of qualitative the instinct. To get good child, to get good intelligent child, to get a proper qualitative child, we must need a marriage reformation. Proper selection of male and female must be there. There are various biological factors, psychological factors of the compatible marriage. Biologically, hereditarily, culturally, educationally, the male and female should match to each other. Then only good child can take birth. So education starts after the birth. So if proper birth we cannot, it does not take place, then education will not work at all. So these two factors are the primary thing of education. Before we think about education, we must take in account of these two factors for for successful educational system. Now, nowadays, in India and as well as in the world, we are facing lots of economic crisis. A big problem is coming up in terms of economic crisis. Often we talk about education. We relate the education with earning of the money and all. Obviously, purpose of education is to make a man a proper man, but his livelihood is also important, and his role in for the social development or socio-economic development is must. They are the human resource for the social development. How the education system could be manipulated, could be managed so that economic growth will continue forever. There will be no downfall of the economy. There will be no economic crisis. There will be no unemployment. How it could be possible? Again, we have to come back in the education system. Our education system is not nourishing the actual human potential. The purpose of the education should be to develop the elevated intellectualism. What is elevated intellectualism? Elevated intellectualism is through education. If we don't find how my existence is related to the existence of the environment, why something is to be done, why something is not to be done, the cause and effect relation should be very much clear to the children, very much clear to the student. These things we are not revealing to them properly. Just we are forcing them to mug up the informations. Information is not becoming knowledge. In fact, in normal form, in general, we are just gathering information, and somehow we are cracking down the competitive exams, and we are getting admission in technical or higher studies, and somehow we are getting degrees, and we are selling our degrees to the companies, and just somehow we are managing our life. We are earning money and we are managing our life. That's why the growth of the economy, growth of the industry is often facing lots of crises frequently. Actually, how we would be the employer, not the employee? Since our education system, from the very beginning of the education system, if we could make it more interesting to the children, more industrious education, then these problems will be solved. So at the beginning of our education, most of the times we are not making the information to the real life. We are not teaching students all the things like physics, chemistry, mathematics, social science, biology, to connect it to real life. We can make many easygoing systems through which we can teach the students, teach the children in terms of development of industry, development of scientific innovation, development of scientific outlook. Small toy, through small toy making also, we can teach them mathematics, we can teach them geography, we can teach them social science, we can teach them biology, we can teach them history. So the teaching will be the learning will be more interesting. After that, if we teach them the theories, automatically they will remember it, they will understand it, they will realize it. Then they could relate the knowledge with the factors of survival, with the factors of growth, and they could relate it with the nature and the society. This is not happening nowadays. Only we are getting information. That information is mostly boring, or somehow out of fear of getting marks, we are learning somehow. We are just, it is becoming almost useless to build up our life. Just we are selling our knowledge to the companies. So industrial growth can take place only when the education, we can connect the education with the industrial growth. So we have to think on this also. Then every home will be a center of small industry. No one will be unemployed. Then automatically a socialistic economy will grow, because the economy will be distributed among the people and there will be no economic crisis. Why? Because industry will grow from each family. Scientific innovations will take place in each family. The industrial development will take place in each family. A scientific vision will take place in each family. So the family will be gradually family will be the unit of economy, unit of the industrial development. So everything is interconnected. If proper system is managed, if proper system takes place from the very beginning, then automatically this thing will, the purpose of education will be served. So at the beginning, as we talked, the intelligence comes from the attachment to the supreme ideal, attachment to the superiors, attachment to the parents, attachment to the teachers. So teachers, parents, those should have an ideal personality, so that they can impart to the children, to the students, a higher purpose of life. They should know, they should realize that if they want to become, they want to develop, they alone cannot be happy. If they want to be happy, they have to make others also, their surroundings also, happy, because their life is depending on the surroundings. So we cannot be self-centric. If truly they want to love them, they have to serve their society, they have to serve their their environment, so that this relationship can build from the very beginning through this education, and that education comes from the personality of the parents, personality of the teachers, and automatically the industrial growth will also take place, because that if the system, our education system stands on the practical and industrial education, then everything will be in proper channel. The economic growth, social growth, loss of unemployment, as well as the prosperity of human life, everything will be in proper shape. So in a nutshell, at the end, again, let us recapitulate what we discussed. Our mental development as well as the biological development, both should be nurtured through superior centric life, as ideal centric life, as well as the marriage reform. These two factors must be taken very seriously for proper development of human resource, and this is the purpose of education, to make a man a proper man, to make a man a useful man, to make a man a complete man, to make a man a ideal centric man, to make a man a responsible man, to make a man industrial man, to make a man a scientific man, man of scientific outlook, man of higher goal of life. Thank you very much.